Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. It's time to have a look at Season 19 of the Battle Pass. Looks like Gaijin hasn't cancelled this, which is quite nice, and the title of this one is First Sample. I apologize, this video is a little bit later. I've been dealing with hiccups for an hour, so that's been really fun. But yeah, we now have the next season of the Battle Pass, and the rewards themselves actually look really cool. This one will begin on the 23rd of April, and it will go until the 23rd of July. And let's get into it. There's some decals, decorations, and also a new reward, which is a profile background for the main prize of this event, which is the T44FM. So, in this video, we'll have a look at the vehicles, we'll have a look at the decorations and decals, and also have a look at everything else in the Battle Pass. They've also talked about the Warbond shop, but I was thinking of saving that for tomorrow, or when the Battle Pass comes out, so I can visually show you. But basically, the vehicles that are available are the MGB-75, the I-153P, the M3A3 for China, the USS Moffat, the KV-2 for Germany, and the HS-129B2 Romanian edition for Italy. So generally looks pretty good. There's also the Oni pin-up decal, which looks really nice, but as I said, we'll focus on that stuff later on. Let's get into what's coming in this Battle Pass. As always, if you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe and also like the video. Let's get started. So once again, with this Battle Pass, there are two major vehicle rewards, and then also they're doing the Battle Trophy with past vehicles in it too. So nothing is changing on that front, apart from, of course, the unique vehicles. The main prize of this event is the T44FM. This is going to be a USSR tank at rank 4. It's going to be a premium medium tank, which is actually really nice. And the T44FM is basically one of the earlier prototype versions of the T44. The big difference is the gun. This one actually uses the 85mm D5T cannon, which is the one that you can already find in game on the T3485 D5T. So it will have a slightly weaker gun than the standard T44 in the tech tree. And the major thing it will have, though, is premium, which will give it a bonus. Basically, the development of a new Soviet tank capable of countering German Tigers and Panthers began back in 1943. Despite the start of production in 1944, the T-44 did not take part in any battles during the Second World War, but remained in service with the Soviets until the early 70s. The first production vehicles were distinguished by a driver port above the front armor plate and also different turret armor, and had the different gun. So this vehicle will be very different from the standard T-3485, with a weak spot probably where the driver's port is, and then also different armor on the turret, probably more similar to the actual T-34 than the 44 that we know. So it will be probably a lower BR, but also it'll be capable at that BR. The next vehicle is the Amiens. This is a sub-chaser for France at rank 3. So this one's going to be in the coastal tech tree and also will have access to premium. This looks very similar to the Arras, which is an incredibly powerful vehicle. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be in that area. During the First World War, France decided to use a special type of small vessel, the Aviso, a heavily armed submarine hunter disguised as a small merchant ship, to fight enemy submarines. The class was named Arras, but the lead ship of the class was the Amiens, laid down in La Seine-sur-Mer in 1918. This ship is one of the heaviest coastal vessels in the game, with an arsenal of 138.6mm guns and twin 37mm autocannon mounts, complemented by a 75mm universal cannon and also small machine guns, which is pretty nuts. This vehicle is very similar to the Arras, and if you haven't played the Arras, it's incredibly powerful, especially now with the aiming changes. It's able to basically one-tap anything that it faces in the coastal area, and then in the blue water area, since it has the AP, it has the SAP shots, it's able to also do quite a lot of damage to destroyers and is quite tanky. So getting a premium version of that just sounds really, really powerful. For the past vehicles in the battle trophy, you have the ORP Garland, which is the Polish destroyer. You have the USS Detroit, which is the heavy cruiser for the Americans. You also have the Matilda Hedgehog and the Tandem Mai, which makes a return. Haven't seen the Tandem Mai in a long time, so nice to see it back, and hopefully people can get it, since I'm pretty sure the event for that was, what, in like 2017 or like 2018? Crazy to see that one. So a nice set of battle trophy vehicles. The only bad one really out of these is probably the Garland, just because it's so low in rank and, you know, doesn't give you a lot of rewards. And also I'm pretty sure it's crazy cheap on the gadget market too, like less than like 5 gadget coin, unless stuff has changed over the last year. Who knows? The Battle Pass also comes with a bunch of other rewards, which is quite nice. Basically, you have access to a bunch of decals. You have the Moscow Collective Farmer decal, then the Gorky Pioneer decal, the Don Cossack decal, and also the Soviet Polar Explorer decal. All of them are basically just text decals, so no real pictures, but at the same time, you know, I mean, it's a Russian battle pass, right? Because you have the T-44 and that being the main prize. For decorations, it gets a little bit more spicy. You actually have the AK-46 #1 decoration, so looks very similar to the AK-47. I'm sure there is a difference. It's probably like a prototype version or something. And then also, you have the RPG-2 decoration, so you can add to your weapons collection when it comes to the stuff you can put on your tanks. For the naval decoration, you have the recoilless gun B-10 naval decoration, and this just kind of reminds me of that really funny destroyer that had the ridiculously large kind of recoilless rifle on it, and also got somebody sent to a gulag because basically what ended up happening is they were seen as kind of wasting so many resources. They actually got charged for basically treason against the Soviet states, which is just really funny. We'll get into that story later on at some point, but yeah, it's a funny one. But anyway, that is there. So nice to see it. And then also, instead of a profile picture this time, you get a profile background, which is the T44FM. And I kind of like it. I like the fact that they're switching this up. It does kind of suck that we're losing a profile picture, but then again, there's so many profile pictures nowadays, it is pretty crazy. So to get a more unique profile background, I think that's really cool. And also at the same time, you still get the loading screen at level 100. So it isn't the fact that you are losing something here. You're basically just, they're changing up. Instead of getting the profile pic, you get the profile background, which is quite nice. So everything else about the Battle Pass really hasn't changed. So the way that you grind it, doing the logins, the daily challenges, the Battle Pass challenges, and of course the special tasks, all of that hasn't moved. So if you have played the other Battle Passes, then you'll know how this one works. The price of it hasn't changed. Nothing has really changed across the board. So basically they're just doing kind of what they've done previously. They just missed out on the 2 dev blogs to start with for the vehicles, which was kind of odd. It would have been nice to have a really in-depth history about the T-44, but maybe at some point in the future. Now, the vehicles for this one look quite nice. I think generally I'm pretty happy with it. And then also at the same time, the actual profile background thing is actually really cool. And looking at the season challenges, there's none of them yet which kind of jump out as a bit rough. But what we'll do later on is we'll have a look at them a little bit more in close regard, because usually there's like one which is a little bit weird. Like, so for example, there's a Coastal Defender challenge, which is deal the specified amounts of damage while using a coastal vessel gun with a caliber of at least 75 millimeters. Now that might be a little bit annoying, but there are some quite good 85 millimeter guns and 88s and 76s, so it should be okay, and it's only 20,000 damage. You just need to make sure that you have a vehicle that's researched that you can use there, but it should be okay. So yeah, we shall see what goes on with it. Let me know your thoughts on the Battle Pass. I think overall for me, I'm pretty happy with it. There's no real issues or no real problems. So yeah, let's have a bit of fun with this one and let's get it grinded out. I'm pretty happy with it. It looks pretty good. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem, Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.